Mm. Flip camera. How do I do that? Mm. Flip camera. How do I do that? What up? What up?
All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up, man?
You can invite Dilly to turn on their camera. Well, I'm sure I was trying to figure out how to get your camera going.
There we go.
You
I
can
think I got it.
invite. Okay, cool. Sick. How do I expand? Oh, there we go. Working with it. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. I got my whole podcast set up for you and everything.
I know. I see that. Now I
That
gotta.
way you've got
Now
good audio.
I don't even have mine all set up. Now look at me, bro. I'm trying to get this split screen. Hold on, let me figure this thing out. How's your day, bro?
It's been busy as hell.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it? Is the audio coming through the microphone? So and then I come back and
I have
it's
my
better.
headphones on. I hear you.
Okay,
You sound all right.
cool. Yeah, it's just been a busy day.
Yeah, bud. Working or what?
Yeah, yeah, working. I've been trying to go. I was gonna do a live early this morning
Yep.
and couldn't get it done because I started getting requests work wise, and then had a meeting at 1:30 that I almost forgot about, so did that. So I actually took my lunch break to do this.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you jumping on with me, brother.
Yeah.
Glad you got to come on. We'll do it as a podcast, obviously. We got a
Okay.
few viewers actually. That's pretty solid. But I'll just do kind of like an introduction to the podcast. It kind of self-records for all those like watching right now. This is the Dope Book Golf Podcast. I'm Trippy Golf. I have a golf company, and I've been running this podcast for a couple weeks now, a couple months, and ran into Dilligolf. And let's talk today, brother. I'm excited to have you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't I
Absolutely.
haven't
I'm excited
actually
to be on.
I haven't actually done it as like a TikTok live before, so we'll see how it works. At least if we can get some audio out of it, you know what I'm saying? That's a win-win situation. So I'll take
Heck
it.
yeah. And I learned the
So
hard way. You've got to save this before you close it out. I didn't know that, and I've been trying to go find my live videos, and they're not there.
all right, well
So,
that's good to know. I'm like not seeing. So I've done a lot of videos. I used to do a lot of TikTok lives in the past because, like I said before, um, I did like the trick shots and stuff.
yeah.
But I kind of just back. I need to front run it though, because I mean it opens up a whole new crowd and stuff.
Uh huh.
As I'm sure you know, like the videos hit. It's like that echo chamber, and we can talk about it a little more as we go. But yeah,
Yeah.
this is kind of my first one in a while. So let's get it going, and we'll knock it out. So all right, brother. Well, what's up, everybody? This is the Dope Golf Podcast. I'm Erik, also known as Trippy Golf. Do some golf content. We got an exciting episode for you today. Just chilling out. I got my buddy Dilly Golf.
You can
Do I
just
look
say
like?
Zeke. You
Do,
can just
do I look like I can golf? Right? Is
exactly.
that
Do
is
I
that,
look
is that
like
where
I
we're at?
golf? Yeah.
But
So
really,
yeah. Go ahead.
we'll we'll call him Zeke, though. You know.
There we go.
So, well, tell us a little bit about yourself, because I watched one of your episodes last night, my guy.
Which ones? Like the Dilligolf stuff or the Master of
I
Arms?
watched I watched the Master's Arms last
Oh,
night.
did
I was
you?
like I was like, this dude's a freaking giant, dude. Like, what
Yeah.
the hell? You
I'm a
you
big
do
guy.
not you do not represent a 6'7" giant dude on your videos and stuff. I lied, because I saw one of them and you were standing next to the golf cart, and I was like, damn, I can't see the top of the golf cart like that.
Yeah. When we filmed the show, I was actually 315 pounds too now. Now I'm down to 250, so I've dropped a good amount of weight. But yeah, I was a big guy, and I don't think the people who auditioned me for the show actually knew how tall I was. It wasn't on the application. We didn't talk about it in the audition because it was Skype audition. And then I showed up, and all the cameraman and the director of photography is like, "Oh my God, how?" Because my co-host Ashley, she's only
Dude.
like 5'2".
Right. I was
So
looking
they
at
had
you
to
guys.
build a platform for her.
I could see it because I was like looking at you guys. I've seen some of the other shows similar. I haven't seen that
Yeah,
one in particular before. But we had told my friend Holly, her dad Mike, about it, and he was like, "Oh shoot, you've been talking to that guy?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess." I don't know. Now I feel bad. Now I feel like I need to research something. Like I'm like, dude, I'm like, homie, bro. No, that's super awesome, man. And I know we got to kind of avoid certain words and with what you've done in the past, and
yeah,
I like to use pew pew, So
yeah. Pew Pew's a
you
good one.
you got that little pew pew industry, and
Yeah,
I see we've been talking a little bit about you transitioning to the golf side and
yeah,
doing it through your son, and yeah, it kind of caught us up together, and I mean we really found each other through like one of these sharing and engagement groups, which is kind of cool because
yeah,
I've met a lot of people through these groups, similar groups in tournaments and creator tournaments and stuff, and it's just the network that's possible through social media, through golf, and what's available is really crazy right now. It's exciting to see somebody else running that same track, kind of, and yeah. So just tell everyone a little bit about yourself, because obviously the podcast. I know
yeah.
you might have your own followers on here a little bit, but this will eventually later this week go on to all podcast platforms and that kind of thing too. So.
So I got my start in the whole work world. Well, I'll give you a brief synopsis of everything leading up to now. I was a basketball player, obviously, the height and
Surprise.
everything, and played all the way up into college. I was on 3 different college basketball teams. I never played in a single game. So I realized my career was over in basketball and went and finished my degree at Middle Tennessee State. That's where I started, and hopped around with some JUCOs and came back and got my degree in biology and sports medicine, and went into the medical field. Was on the clinical side for about 8 years, and then the sales side for about 5 years. And I decided I wanted to chase the money with the sales side, and I learned really quick that that's not what makes me happy. I make great money. I mean, more money than I ever thought I'd make, and that just wasn't really stoked about what I was doing. So I went on and worked for a buddy of mine who had this conglomerate of businesses in Nashville, and one of the things he had were 3 Latino radio stations, and I got into the pew pew world
Yes, sir.
by starting a podcast. And within 6 months, we were the largest pew pew podcast in the world. There's been lots that have surpassed it since, but it was pretty cool, and went and parlayed that into a career in that industry. And at the end of where I was working previously, which was a trade school in that industry, I ended up hosting a TV show on Discovery Channel called Master of Arms. Most fun I've ever had working in my life. I mean, it was fun, but the weirdest stress once it went to air. Because I'm the type of guy that if if I do a job and something gets screwed up, I either fix it, I learn how to fix it, or I hire somebody to fix it, right?
Yes, sir.
TV, once it's out there, it's out there. You can't do
Yep.
nothing. I mean, it's there. There's no going back. There's no fixing it. So that's that was kind of the weird stress involved with having a TV show. After that, went back into the industry with the organization I'm with now. I'm part owner of MGS Trade School and chief marketing officer there, and just kind of started my marketing chops all over again. I didn't do it for a little while, and then I went back into it, and I love it. I love the psychology of connecting to a demographic, connecting to your audience. If I go to hire marketing people, and whether I'm doing consulting gigs or for my own organization, And it's weird because you get these people that have resumes that, you know, a Harvard degree in marketing. And, you know, I haven't actually interviewed anybody from Harvard, but you know what I'm saying? They've got these prestigious master's degrees
Right.
in marketing. And then you start asking them, what's marketing to you? Well, we got to make sure we have the impressions and the unique views and the analytics. No, wrong. Analytics are important on making your decision, right? So when you start a marketing campaign, those analytics are very important to look at. Okay, I spent $1,000 here. I got this many leads and I got this many conversions to sales. In our case, it's enrollments in the school. And that's important for the decision making. But to design the campaign, to design your whole marketing plan, you have to be able to connect to an audience. And I found out in my crash course in marketing of, 13, 14 years ago, that the best, easiest fields to market in are passion niche markets. So the previous industry I was in, well, I'm still in that industry. I say previous industry. I'm not transitioning out of that industry. I still own a company. I love that industry. But now in the golf world, it's another passion niche. People, when they get into golf, it's not like this passing hobby they do once a month. When you get into it, you're into it, and it sucks you in because it's that self-improvement aspect. It's that golf being a metaphor for life. You got to constantly keep swinging to get out of whatever bad situation you're in. You got to keep going. And that's one of the things I love about golf. And so as I started playing golf, I started when I was 12, but never got hooked. I was playing against guys, my grandfather, my uncle, scratch golfers. I was playing against guys from the high school team, playing against guys in the college teams I was at. And they were smoking me. So I'm a super competitive dude. I just didn't bite because I'm like, I can't compete. Well, my son makes his high school golf team. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to take him out golfing. He's going to smoke me. He's really good. So maybe I'll just play to see how good I can do, with my best round I ever had, and I think at the time I hadn't ever broke 90. Well, I shot an 89 that day and I was like, oh, wait, I can get better because this is the first time I've golfed in like 3 years. Holy crap. I can probably do something, not do something as in make the PGA. That is never going to happen. But I could at least, try to break 80, maybe try to get to single digit handicap, and do it for me, not for competing against other people, which, if I get with people with my same talent level, and now that I've learned about the handicap, I can actually compete with people that are better. I didn't understand the handicap score until this past year. So that kind of bit. And then what do you do when you get into anything nowadays? You watch YouTube, you will listen to podcasts, you do. And I'm watching, and there's some great reviewers out there, both that are pro scratch golfers and both that are, mediocre to high handicap golfers. But there weren't a lot of those mediocre to high handicap golfers doing reviews on freaking clubs. On freaking clubs like the 410 or 430 max 10K that are supposed to correct your swing when you don't need your swing corrected. It's like, what? Why am I going to listen to that review kind of thing, right? So I was like, I'm just going to do what I did in the P2 world, and I'm going to do content for golf. It's very similar. I'm seeing comments. I'm going to make sure I respond. Let's go.
Yeah, that's my boy. I went to high school with him, so I'm glad he came on. And what's up, brother? Good to see you.
So I saw all that, and I'm like, I'm gonna pump out a YouTube video or two. And I did. I think the first thing I did is I reviewed. Actually, it may have been when I reviewed the plastic golf ball. And then I reviewed my Ping G400s, the hybrids. Kind of golfing on a budget because I got them used. One was on eBay and the other two were at Edwin Watts. And then now I've reviewed the Jumbo Max grips. And then I something else clicked for me. I filmed me and my son playing golf. And a lot of these golf channels on YouTube, they film rounds of golf, and they're phenomenal golfers and they're phenomenal conversators. They're great communicators. That's why they're successful in the golf world. But the focus was more on the golf. Understandably so. I watch PGA Tour. I watch people that are good at golf, trying to get up pointers and tips, tricks, or just being in awe. It's like watching, Michael Jordan. I'm not going to say LeBron James because my son will listen to this. But,
Not our
watching
generation.
yeah, watching Michael Jordan in the day. I mean, you're just in awe of that talent, right? So I'm not bashing them when I say this, but I felt like they were missing out on the conversations in between the holes. They're there, they play them, but there could be more. My golf sucks. Nobody wants to watch me play golf. So I'm like, these are great conversations. My son's busting my balls at every other hole. That's hilarious. Right. I'm just going to put that on there and focus more on the conversations between the holes than the actual golf play. It's still there. We show a few shots. I've tried using the Shot Tracer app. It sucks for me. I posted a video here on TikTok and it showed it go like 6 inches. And I'm like, that did not happen.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I got there. And Dilligolf, the name I came up with, you and I both have been in and around military for a long time. And Dilligaff is a phrase used by drill instructors, and it kind of gets adopted by every branch of military and every unit and every soldier and airman and everything else. And do I look like I give a,
mm-hmm.
And I still haven't figured out TikTok if we can cuss or not. So I'm just I don't want to screw up your life.
Actually, on most of my podcasts, because I usually record on like a podcasting site like Riverside or whatever, and I have been shadow banned on TikTok. So I figure we just
we'll just clean it up. We'll keep it
professional.
Clean.
We'll keep it clean this one. So I'm with you.
Do I look like I give up? Mm-hmm. And that's what Dilligaff stands for. And then I was like trying to come up with a name, and a lot of my nickname has always been Squatch. I'm a giant, bearded. I used to have long hair, and that's just kind of been my nickname. So I was like, Squatch Golf. There's like 20 Squatch Golf or Sasquatch Golf.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of them out there. So I'm like, okay, I can't do that. And then it just hit me, and I was like, oh my gosh, Dilligolf. Do I look like I golf? I don't look like. I'm full sleeve tattoos.
Yeah.
I got the big beard. I had the long hair when I started this, and I'm like, oh wait, Dilligolf. So I looked up the domain, and I got discouraged at first because Dilligolf.com is sold. It's taken, and I'm like, oh man. Well, I go to that website. It doesn't exist. The domain is being held by GoDaddy, and I'm like, okay. So I tried Dilligolf.net, bought it. Dilligolfgear.com, bought it. Dilligolf.me or golf, or I bought a few weird ones. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to just keep trying to go with it. And if somebody says, hey, no, that's mine, you can't do it, then I'll stop.
Yeah.
Nobody did. Finally, I figured out who the Dilligolf.com was. It was some video game that they tried to launch back in like 2014.
Yeah.
And it didn't go anywhere. There's like 5 Twitter posts on X, and that was it. And their website doesn't exist. The game doesn't exist. So I went balls to the wall, man. I bought I registered the trademark. I formed an LLC. So there is an actual Dilligolf LLC registered in Memphis, Tennessee. And I got the trademark, so nobody can use it for this space. So that's where I'm at, and then now I'm trying to figure out TikTok, because in my world before, all we had was YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. And the TikTok thing, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm not going to mess with it. Now that I see the power in it, and now that I see, oh, wow, they're very transparent with what you have to do. Like YouTube, dude, guessing game, good luck. It's
exactly.
Like, here, we granted you a channel. Good luck figuring this stuff out.
Right.
Where TikTok's like, hey, you need to do 3 live. You need to do this. You need to reach this amount of followers. And I kind of like that. So I'm trying to jump in head first and figure it all out.
It's goal setting, and clearly you're a good goal setter. You've accomplished quite a few things in your life. I ain't been on no TV show, but I will say, like, even going on the podcast thing, that was one of my first woes was before, I edited my own videos. I edited my golf shots and this and that. And even if I posted it and hated it later or whatever, I could go back and delete it. But then as soon as I jumped on a podcast, especially one that wasn't owned by me and it was through a network, once we recorded and turned it over to publish, he didn't really care if I called him like, that wasn't my favorite episode. He's really just like content. So,
Yeah.
I was definitely self-conscious about that for a long time. So I could only imagine then to top it off the next level, to put it on a TV show. I mean, it's like in grades. It's crazy too because of the amount of viewers that are possible on TikTok and all these social media sites. But you kind of grade TV just from the past on that
Yeah.
extra rank. Uh, but it was impressive. It was fun. It was fun to watch. But I like the transition. And you talked about how golf is addicting because it's like a passion, but you could also just get better
Yeah.
towards yourself. And
Yeah.
for me, that was a huge key, and also a huge key with me in like the military and messing with some pew pews is like I could always zero better, right? And I
Right.
think of a lot of golf aspects, and I think it's such a great tie-in with any military, besides the mental game and the mental strength and stuff. But I just like to tie in like the verbiage and stuff, which is exactly what you did with Dilligolf. And
Yeah.
and it's even funny because I hopped on your live yesterday, and that was just my initial go-to. I heard you talking about it. I saw the camo hat, and I just
Yeah.
I don't remember what I exactly said, but I always say like Blue Falcon, which is but Buddy Effort and
I was like,
basketball
wait a
or
minute, I'm not
yeah,
a Blue Falcon.
yeah, basketball cleats, and I just I like all the things. And I was in like an armor division, so we had people knocking on tanks looking for the soft spot and cutting grid squares and all the good stuff. But
Yeah.
um, I was like heavy into land nav. I'm a 13 Fox, so I like call for fire, did medevacs and that kind of thing. But I'm also a land nav expert, and that's kind of where I was learning the golf course and learning the militaristic properties that golf has. And it was like such a good connection to me because when I got out, I was lost, man.
Yeah.
I got out under honorable conditions. I'm a disabled veteran now, but um, I didn't know what I wanted to do, where I wanted to work, or even how to stay mentally, engaged with. It's hard to describe. Like it's hard to describe, military to military, uh, or other, but then the military, just like a civilian aspect. And dude,
Well, and
I
from
like.
a
Go
even
ahead.
even a simpler point, right? I was never in the you know what, and I never got deployed, never did anything. I was in the air guard, did guard duty every month, and then the 2 weeks of the summer, and then I herniated a disc, and they said you're old and you're broken, goodbye. When you get back from basic training, and anybody that's ever been to basic training understands this, you're used to very regiment time. If they say 6 o'clock, you're there at 5:56. Everything is on time, everything is perfect, everything is flawless. And the first time you go to McDonald's after you get out of basic training, you want to throw things through windows
Yeah.
because they're like, "What do you want? Okay, you want fries? No fries. No, you do want fries." And you just get this attitude, and you're like, "Oh my god!" And
Life,
you never
life's real tough.
realize, yeah, you never realize like how regimented the military can get you in your mindset. And then when you go back to the real world that was normal for you before, once you're back, it's like, whoa. And I'm just talking about basic training. I can't imagine what it was like to be deployed, to be in the and to come back after a TBI and after injury and go through what you've gone through and then deal with that same kind of stuff out in civilian life. So
Absolutely.
it's a wild transition.
So it's wild too, because even within the military, you deal with the civilians, you deal with the hospitals, the clinicians, the outside of
Yeah.
your unit versions of those, and then like you have your Burger Kings on post and that kind of thing. But they still kind of are held to a standard where they um, report and they do everything within a military system. But as soon as you leave, like it's very lackadaisical and it's no burn on them. They just didn't experience the same thing, and it's like some days I wish I just like had that like laxative. Like I used to
Well,
before I joined the military. I moved to Keystone, Colorado, and I worked at a ski resort. So you can imagine how I spent 2 years. It was under less than sober conditions, and I did live that super lackadaisical life. And then all of a sudden I joined the military. And it's like be up it
yeah.
from from the time you go to sleep, from the time you wake up to the time you go back to sleep, you're told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And but I like the responsibility and the professionalism it gave me, and why it drives me to do golf and to do the podcast and
Yeah.
just to keep up and to step outside. And honestly, I just love what you're doing. Not only are we already connected, but I just want to see how you, because I haven't been experienced in the marketing field, and like I
Yeah.
am self marketing myself and my company and my podcast and all these things, and it's just not a training or a thing I've been through or somebody I particularly know. And it is cool to see the social media space because like everybody's a little different, and I
Yeah.
encourage everyone to post. I mean, I know that's like a mantra or whatever. Post as much as you can, as often as you can, kind of post everything type thing. And I like that side. So if you watch any of my golf or my socials, I do put golf swings on there. I can swing a golf club. I'm not the best, but I definitely got good shots.
You got a nice
But
swing.
I appreciate. I appreciate. I do have an uncle, and I've been similar story to you, and I'll talk about it in a second. But I like the jokes. Like I like the funny. I like the in
Yeah.
between discussions, the little games that are involved, the different skill aspects. Like yes, I like watching somebody drive a golf ball 300 plus consistently. But I also just a wicked flop shot or a nice bump and run or like a crazy putt from 60 foot is just like they're amazing feats. And back circling back to I do come from a golf background. Like my uncle's the director of a golf at a course, and I played high school golf as well. But similar story. Like I watched all these dudes whoop me. Like I think I was, I rolled in the number 2, number 3 spot at my high school. But
Yeah.
these kids are shooting 68, 69
Wow.
constant, and brother, I was shooting 75 to 85.
Yeah.
If I'm lucky, I'd definitely fold under pressure too. Like I made it to regionals my senior year, and it was just like a tank show. Few people watching, and it's over for me. But oh, dude, I don't know. There's so much to it, but also that's the Golf Armory for me, right? Like it's bringing it back again. It's a connection to veterans, and another like the tie-in between the pew pews and golf is there's so many tie-ins, and I wanted to choose a name that was marketable, right?
Yeah.
Uh, because you could just have any name in. This is no burn against any choices or any names that anybody has chosen in the past, but it has to be really well thought out. Now,
Yeah.
look, I have trippy golf, which I often get confused for inappropriate things, which is it's just a pun on words. Those are initials, but then like to take it from the goofy me side to the Golf Armory. And I actually decided for this episode to kind of just tell people like this is my disconnect, and I am starting to disconnect my personal from my business. Trippy golf is me personally, and that's like my Facebook and my friends and my family in those tournaments and groups I've been a part of. But now it's time to launch my company, and I've been pushing this so hard, my guy, and like I've got things set up. And for a long time, I was worried to tell people because I didn't want to fail under conditions of pressure,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And not that it still couldn't happen; anything could happen in any given day. But brother, I love this industry so much, and the opportunity. Yes, yes, there's this is a high value market. It
Yeah.
does reap rewards. However, well, it's hard to explain this to people because we live in a money hungry industry, like a now or life, like a now. Gimme, gimme, gimme.
Yeah.
But to be able to connect veterans and give somebody the opportunity to experience what I experienced, like my safety net, like it,
Yeah.
I didn't, I didn't know where I was going to find that. I have a child, and I was starting to worry for a while. Like how am I going to be a good influence when I can barely thought process through my own day, and to find somebody just connected a little bit in any way and promote that, because we
Yeah.
see a lot of promotions. We see the golf tournaments that are like, we're going to donate to the VFW.
Yeah.
Cool. Like please do that. Like it's a needed thing. Companies and nonprofits like that do good things for the veteran community. However, getting veterans to somewhere is so much. I'm not going to say more important, but it's a high value task. I
Oh yeah.
believe like it's so important to get them out there, and whether it's getting them out of their shell or just introducing them to new people. Uh, to be able to do that through the podcast, to be able to do that through social media, but I did have like what you said, marketing, dude. Like marketing is crazy. Like how do I get their attention, not overflow them with like, hey, you're in the military, get to here. Hey, you're like I'm not a drill sergeant, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm not an NCO anymore. I'm not instructing people where to be and how to be there. And but to like tie in groups and bring people in an overwhelming numbers type of way. Bro, I'm
Well,
interested. I'm all ears to you, brother. I swear
the
to God.
the first thing is you've got these, right? You know, if
Yep.
somebody's into golf, they're into golf. You've already got them hooked on your product. You just
Yep.
don't know it yet, you know, because your product is being built at this point in time, and they're passionate about it. So play to their passions, and you already are, and that's why whenever I'm talking to anybody that's going into business, has a business or starting a business, anything like that, I'm always listening to all the little, things that most people don't listen to, like you separating Trippy Golf from Golf Armory, which is cool, but still use Trippy Golf to point
Yes.
to Golf Armory. Yeah, I had a radio show at one point in time, and a good friend of mine who has, I think he's over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He and I were talking. He was like, "Dude, you don't get rich off the media part. You don't get wealthy off of social media and all that stuff." He said, "Where you get good and make money is if you have something that you get good at the media part, and you can point to that thing that makes you the money." So Trippy Golf, hey, look, I did a trick shot. Hey, look at this awesome swing. I learned this little tip. I'm going to give you the tip for free. I'm going to give you this and tell you that. And oh, by the way, go check out Golf Armory. And
Yeah.
you constantly do it. And it's branding. You know, a lot of people don't understand where that word branding comes from. You know, they just think, oh, Dilligolf, that's the brand. You're branding it by showing it to me all the time. It stems from cattle farms. When you would brand an
Yep.
image into the side of a cow. And that's the same thing. You're searing an image or a thought or a phrase or a song or whatever into people's minds. So you have a following with the Trippy Golf, and then I just turn around and start pointing people over to the Golf Armory as you do it.
Yeah.
Keep doing Trippy Golf, but at the same time, it is your marketing platform for that at the same time.
Right.
And when I was talking about the free stuff, I'm a firm believer in Gary Vaynerchuk. I can never say it. Gary V. He's a big marketing guy.
Absolutely.
I
Wine guy and
follow.
stuff now.
Yeah, exactly. I follow him, and I started following him because I'm like, oh my God, this is saying everything that professional marketers told me I was wrong about because their education told them this, but he's saying everything I've done. So I'm like, oh, dude, we're aligned. I think the same way. And his book is called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And if anybody understands boxing, that's
Yep.
a little short jab, and then a big old right hook, right? Well, what he's talking about in the marketing world is here's something free, here's something free, here's something free. And that can be, you don't have to give away a free golf ball or a free club or a free day. I'm talking about just advice. Here's me doing a trick shot for free. You don't say it's for free because everybody will be pissed off. Does this dude charge for trick shots? but and then after that third free, here's something cool that I've showed you. Now I'm going to give you the right hook and ask you to go check out Golf Armory. So it's free, ask. And that's kind of my philosophy on a lot of stuff.
I feel like I've gotten a little bit of Mike Tyson, like I had a plan, and now I feel like I've got punched in the face. So now, but like I've done a little bit of boxing, and those jabs are setups. It's mind games and military warfare and all those kinds of things is mind games, and whether or not you're physically or have more of a unit or whatever to take over it, but like the mind games are overall the most like the setup, and I think that's like a lot of what you're talking about. And the branding thing is,
Absolutely.
I love looking. I I overthink everything. I question everything, but branding, like I like the cattle idea and then creating it because not only are you branding or burning the image into the internet, the building or wherever your shirts or
Yeah.
anything like that, but the idea of like branding it into somebody's mind or branding your image or your brand into their mind, and that's one of those genius marketing. It's one of those phrases like you go to the motivational speakers and they like leave you with like that. Hey,
Yeah.
here's your write that down,
Yeah.
type phrase.
Exactly. And it's very simple. If you can, so I'll go deeper in my background for this statement. You know, my entire life until sixth grade, I moved every year of my life. I was in a different school, different state sometimes, every single year. So I got really, really good at making friends really, really fast, or I'd get beat up. It's just the fact of it, right? So that translated into being able to connect with people a lot faster, and I had to observe people more. I had to observe how they were behaving. Okay, is this even worth putting my effort in? Nope, they're a jerk. I'm not going to be there for it. It's kind of one of those weird things that happen when you move. I think that led to me having a little bit of a talent in marketing because I observe the entire demographic of the pew pew world, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
watched there's the tactical guys, and I say tactical, I mean tactical guys. They're dressed in full battle rattle just to go train on the weekends and in Podunk, Tennessee. And there's nothing
Paintballing.
wrong with that. I'm just trying to make them laugh.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you like, we're in America. Like what you like. And then there's the more, gray man guy. You'd never know he carried and trained and everything else. Then you got the ex-military guy. Then you have, the spec ops guys or the guys that want to be spec ops guys. And that's a whole nother demographic. And I just observed all these people. And then there's the hunters and then there's sport shooters. And I was able to get my finger on the pulse of that demographic, every single version. Same thing in golf. Like, you've got the traditional, I wear pants every time I'm at the course. I do not wear shorts. I wear a collared shirt and I wear a very professional golf hat, which is fine. I do that sometimes, not all the time, probably about 10% of the time. And then you get the people who like Trailer Park Golf Club. I've got
Yep.
3 of their shirts. They're like, F it. We are who we are. This is who we're going to be. And we love golf too. You may not let us into your fancy country club, but we're still going to go play at our local munis. And then there's other country clubs that we can join that'll let us in. And then you got the newbies who I feel bad for sometimes, right? Because they don't know the golf etiquette. They don't know this, that, and they get bashed. They go out to the golf course because they go to the range. They feel they had a great day at the range. They don't understand pace of play and everything. We should all be going, hey, man, are you new to this? Before you
Yep.
start going, now, come on, man, no, get off here. Be kind. And kindness goes a long way. This guy could be, the next Tiger Woods, and you treat him like crap, and he doesn't ever want to pick up a club again because
Yeah.
you're more concerned about your ego and knowing more than he does about golf.
It's
So,
really easy to keyboard warrior, right? But and then like
yeah,
on the course, but then with the new guy, and they like you said, they don't understand it. Helpful tip also often helps. And then you're like, we always talk about grow the game. Sometimes and that thought process is still there, but you hear
yeah,
jokes on it on the internet now and stuff. But
yep,
doing it, yeah, I think growing. You can wear pants. You can wear. I mean, the live is coming up. PGA is coming up.
yep.
There is a separation there. All kinds of talks, but you're just seeing these different sides, and feels
And,
like
and,
politics a little bit. But
and when you understand the demographic as a whole and you take in all of it, you're accepting of every single type of golfer out there. Here in Memphis, you see everything. you you see people out playing golf in shorts and a torn T-shirt, and then you turn around and the group behind you is all in khakis and a pressed shirt. It's an interesting world. But if you understand, there's one thing that ties us all together, and that's golf.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, in the pew pew world, right? I tell people all the time, it's like, argue your other politics after. Let's solidify the second first, and once that's done, then we can argue. Because there's people in my world that are extreme one way, and they think everybody that is pro us is on that side, and it's like, no. I know people on the other side that are huge pew pew nuts.
Yep.
But you're alienating them. That's why I tell people all the time, if you're a business, politics and religion, kick them out of your business. Because the moment you take a stand either direction on those two subjects, you're alienating half your potential demographic.
Yep.
But yeah, if you know your demographic, you're able to connect with them, then you can create campaigns around that connection. All of us are trying to reach that scratch level, right?
Right.
So if you make jokes and stuff about, being a 17 handicapper and trying to, just do a 30-yard chip shot, yeah, people are going to relate to that, because the people who are, single handicappers and below, that's only about 10% of the golfing market. The rest of them are like me and worse.
Yeah, I'm
So
not sure of
appeal
the
to them.
exact
Yeah.
I'm not sure of the exact average, but I do know like it's a small percentage even break 80 or break 90, or smaller percentage break 80 and so on.
Yeah.
But 100
Yeah.
is like half the people or something
Yeah.
like that. And but also this is the part of the Golf Armory I don't think we really talked about, and that's what I like, the data and technology driving it. I like
Yeah.
the idea is to lower the learning curve of golf, and
Yeah.
we're doing that with social media, what's available at the courses, simulators, yes, but you do still have to apply that to an actual physical grass situation and on course situation. But helping people out is a big addition to. I mean, I remember being a kid going on the course, not being good, slicing it off the
Yeah.
planet, and be yelled at by the guy, on the other fairway. Of course, I probably got too close and all the things. You don't want to get hit by a golf ball, but helping people out, that's one of those big ones where you could really change somebody's game by making them comfortable, right? Like,
Well, and you've got you yourself, as in Trippy Golf and Golf Armory. You have the two things tied to your business that I think have grown outside of Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods exponentially grew the golf world. I mean, just people who never even cared about golf were watching golf to watch Tiger. So that was an anomaly, right? In science, you take the highest number and the lowest number, you throw them out. So Tiger Woods, he's an anomaly. I think the two things that have grown the golf world more than anything are social media, with all the trick shooters, the people like us that put, rounds of golf or swings or reviews, or YouTube. I'm throwing that in the social media bucket. And Top Golf. Dude, I know so many people who never played golf in their life. They went and took their family to Top Golf, and now they're playing golf every weekend.
right.
I think that while it's expensive, they are overpriced. There are a ton of people who go to that restaurant slash driving range slash whatever you want to call it, and they end up being golfers just from their first time at Top Golf. So you are doing a simulator-based business, and it sounds like you're going to do it a lot more affordable than Top Golf is.
Yeah, that is definitely the goal.
Yeah.
I wanted to call it a little bit of an a la carte because I'm working with a lot of different simulator companies. We'll be distributing for many of these simulator companies, but we'll be most of all a test facility for these places, right? Because like I
Yeah.
was a simulator purchaser early, and I ended up with Amiibo Plus. That's not a shout out, but what happened was I just didn't know what to buy, and I
Sure.
didn't know what worked, what didn't work, and when I at first was starting just as a simulator business, I was like, okay, well, what company do I go with? Like, do I go with the TrackMan? Do I go with the Uniker, what all these big brands, and I've been in talks with all of them, and that's you're again. Then your market is only the event, the only the coming in and hanging out and playing. And
Yeah.
there's such a big part of this industry where, man, they're selling these units for any like 500 small is low, right? Like the
Mm.
average unit's at least in the $2,000 to $5,000 range, and that's including
Yeah.
some software and being able to play courses, of course. But um, where do you like? if you're gonna go buy a car, you're gonna go buy your kid a car at $2,500 for the first car or whatever. And I'm thinking
Yeah.
probably my age, so let's bump it up to 5 to 10 grand, right? And you're gonna go buy your kid, you're gonna go test drive it. You're gonna go figure out all the things, right? And what are we not doing with the simulators? They're giving offers where like, hey, you could return it or something, or
Yeah.
there are test options, but it's like it doesn't really work, right? Like
Right.
you're getting mailed an $8,000 unit, and you're going to go take it out and play. You're probably going to take it to the course. You might scuff it or whatever,
Yep.
and then that X-nays all of those options. So why don't you come? Why don't you come to the Golf Armory? Um, Tell me what kind of unit that you think you're going to purchase. What's your budget? We're going to get you in a bay. You're going to be able to go play golf just as you would anywhere else, but we're going to set you up with the units in your price range, and you're going to play and see what works for you, what doesn't. You might, because they all have pros and cons. I'm going to be 100. I've been played on all of them.
Yeah.
TrackMan's messed up on me. My Mevo Plus is messed up a million times. And that's not a burn against them or anyone within the industry, right? Because it's just technology, and it's something registering a ball traveling 100 plus miles an hour, and a swing traveling again anywhere from 50 to 120 plus miles an hour, and then it's tracking it in a distance of 8 to 10 feet. That's
Yeah.
insane, dude. Like
Yep.
I can't even like to think about that. And then what it does is it takes the numbers that it registers, puts it in a little equation, and it populates as a simulator on a projected screen that you're slapping a ball into. It's an
Yeah.
insane
Yeah.
feat of golf and what it has done to the golf industry. And trust me, I've heard it. Like my uncle is the director of golf at a course. I think you always gotta love and support the golf course because that's the end game. Like golf course is always the most beautiful place at any vacation I ever go to. You know what I'm saying?
Heck
But
yeah.
you know what I mean? And making that available is crazy. And now you get to tie in additional things, and the networking that it's brought me. These are the conversations like you've just opened the door to conversations that I've been prepared to have, and
Yeah.
um, to be able to allow people, not only people within the location or my current customers, but say they called the company and they want to buy a unit, and they're like,
Right.
I bet you go on any of those companies' website, a frequently asked question is nearly guaranteed, where do I go test a unit at?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So now we make that available. Now the companies are going to be sending people to the location. We'll be a distributor for each one of those. We'll be able to test it out. It's brought me amazing partnerships along with them. Foresight's partnered with PutView, so we'll be one of the largest PutView uh, facilities west of the Mississippi
Right.
for public. We'll be able to lock in some of them PUBG X glasses and get those out to tournaments and in the hands of some PGA pros and teaching pros and cool stuff like that. And the podcast world brought me a. I'm not gonna say the name, and I haven't said it yet because I gotta sign that contract. You know what I'm saying? It's coming. I got some
Yeah.
super exciting news. I got some ambassador and content creation things about to drop real soon. And then I
Nice.
got an amazing golf cart company that I'm going to be a dealership for, but also using to adapt this industry, right? Because I think what's missing in the golf cart, or is what, it's touched on, you're starting to get these nice monitors, but we're renting these carts for super expensive. And yes, I know the golf cart benefits from that, or the golf course benefits from that, and they'll have to accept you bringing your cart. But we're gonna trick these babies out. I'm not going like
Yeah.
exhibit pimp my ride type pimp them
Oh,
out.
come on.
I mean, maybe we could put a fish bowl or something in a couple of them if we have to, right? some bubbles out the exhaust of a electric golf cart would be kind of funny. But
Right.
let's wrap these things. I like we could do it whatever color, flavor, shape people want. Price dependent, obviously, but let's put some speakers, let's put some mics in these things, let's make some creator carts, let's get these out to the public and
Put
make it
spinners on the
fun.
wheels, man. Put spinners on the
Dude,
wheels.
absolutely. Some spinners on the wheels. I mean, oh man, yeah, I can't say it yet. We could talk about my other idea and off camera because I got a
Okay.
super cool another tie in within the thing. But I built the whole company as a tumbler or cycle. Like you have an entrance in many different ways within the system. Once you get in the system, now you're a loyal customer. You're gonna get some membership points, and you have access to us online. We have a physical facility, and then we're just gonna be growing the space and having people like you, whether you're a part of it, you're a friend or a customer, like you're gonna want to share the space because it's community driven, like social media and this
Yep.
podcast and meeting and having fun. Like I've never done any business. Like I've sold stuff. Yeah, I've been in the military, but I've sold stuff. I've worked everywhere and anywhere, and I've never been so excited and seen so many excited people within an industry that I've seen within this space. So I mean,
I'm t- and use your customers because people are going to actually come in there and do demos on these machines. They're going to actually use these simulators. Throw some kind of incentive at them. Find something. Are y'all going to have food at all there?
Here's the thing. We have a 16,000 square foot building. It's in Broomfield, Colorado. It's a great facility. With the golf carts, we're working a different angle. We're not necessarily going to have 70 golf carts on site. We have a
Right.
separate site. We'll be putting the golf carts over there. That's where our main service and center will be. We'll have some carts in house. We're going to be putting some carts in the bays because that'll be your seating. So we're going to
Yeah.
put some golf carts upstairs because it's a dual level. So there'll be golf carts in the bays instead of like a bench. You'll be able to sit in a golf cart and play your simulator round or whatever.
Yeah.
So it'll just get people in the cart, even if they didn't want to be in a cart, right? And but we're working food truck angles right now. I think
Okay.
involving the community, we're within a good space in an outdoor mall. I like the food truck idea, but we are going to be using beverage carts, decommissioning them, and those are going to be my bar within the facility. So I do
Oh,
have
nice.
alcohol and non-alcohol that will be served. So
Okay. So I would do like, yeah, I know you can't do it with alcohol. You can't give away alcohol, but
yeah,
you could do like, hey, if you make it a Instagram or TikTok post here, tag us, promote us while you're here, we'll get a free coat. Or,
yep,
or maybe even something more appealing that you can find a cheap way to get a cheap hat done, right?
yep,
But it's still a cool design. Give away a hat to anybody that posts stuff. Because then, do you give away 10 hats in a day and your cost is $12 each, so you spend $120? Yeah, but you spend $120 in marketing. You
right,
just got, depending on who's in there using your facility, yeah, a couple of them will have a couple hundred, a couple of them will have, maybe 1,000. But you're going to get somebody in there that got 20, 30, 40, 50,000 followers. You just only spent $12 to reach 50,000 people. That's
yeah,
why, that's another thing I've done in the marketing space is while I had a TV show, I also understand that TV and radio, traditional, are kind of dying. Radio's making a comeback because they're focusing more on talk radio, sports
right,
talk radio. But music radio is kind of dead. So you can't market there. TV's dying. People don't pay attention to commercials because they've got DVRs and they record everything. They fast forward to the commercial. But YouTube, social media, all these places is where it's at. That's where people's attentions are. Hey, Cody Walker,
what's
what's
up, Cody?
up? But that's where people's attention is social media and YouTube. You always want to spend your money where your demographic attention is, right? It's not realistic for you to go throw an advertisement on a PGA Tour event and spend millions of dollars in one commercial. That's dumb. If you
Mm-hmm.
did that, I would tell you, even as a new friend, I'd say that was dumb. That was stupid.
Yeah,
but social media, you can market for such a lower level. It doesn't mean you have to go get the Grant Horvaths and pay them, $5 grand a video, but you can go get a smaller channel that still has a few thousand followers, pay them, two, three, $400. They're going to be giddy because they've never had someone want to throw money at them to make a video. Make sure their content's good. There's people that have
Right.
3,000, 4,000 followers, and you're like, who are these followers?
Yes.
but
Yes.
but you find those people, use that as your marketing platform. Go to the social media. You've got 14,000 plus right on this, right? And then
On my
or no,
Instagram, and this,
yeah.
I think I'm like 3,500 or something. We're,
Still,
we're moving on up. Moving on
yeah,
up.
you got thousands of people that are viewing your stuff.
After this interview, I should be like 50,000 easy, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I meant to tell you, with me coming on here, you might lose 1,000.
Oh, crap. Well, this has been great. You're awesome.
But,
Well, so let me ask you. So this is one of my marketing things within the space is I took a look at the Colorado Golf Expo or Golf Expos, right? And
yep.
when I go there, what's the biggest lines at the expos?
At the golfing,
If you've ever been to an expo, the biggest lines are
I've
usually
not been to a golf one. I've been to the Pew Pew World ones, but I'm not.
right. So you understand an
Yeah.
expo, and but they'll set up a simulator or whatever, and there'll be a closest to the pin. There'll be a long drive. There'll be
Contest. Yeah.
putting competition, right?
Yep.
And I think nightly competitions where we have on the putt view and in their putting green, nightly bracketed competitions and closest to the pin. So I'm going to set closest to the pin in a long drive near the putt view with over. That's because the second story looks over the putt view, so you'll be able to look over it and do nightly bracketed competitions to bring people in. But here's one of the clutch things about bringing people like yourself and other small businesses within the space is those are the giveaways I want to give. I want to hook my people up and give them an actual advertising channel for you to have a product in hand in a space like that that's basically sponsored by a company like mine. That makes a huge deal. I want to be able to even, and I haven't even announced it yet, but to anybody that listens to podcasts or further, I'm gonna be selling space on the wall for handles and stuff. So I have a 16,000 square foot building. There's tons of space. I'd love to put your handles on the wall. We'll be doing it for businesses as well as individuals. Different costing accrued with those, but that is going to go up. I mean, as a matter of fact, if anyone wants to get at me, I guarantee and ensure that contract and all, baby. But yeah, no, I just want to sell the space. Like I'm not into, like, I will obviously advertise for the products in house and the ones that I sell and work with, but I mean, I'm a service disabled veteran business. I don't come from money. I work for everything. I made some to make this happen. I've used all the outlets that have been available to me, and I encourage any veteran, especially service disabled veteran, that there is options out there, and this it is cutthroat, and you're gonna have to work your butt off, man. Like, truly, like, but there are financial options to make your dreams come true, and I'm living that dream, and it's a blessing, and but to be able to give some of that back to our community, like that's just another level to the love I have for the sport and the people that I believe are going to help me get there. You know what I mean? Like, I think this community um, builds your backing in significant numbers, and it's shown. And I think the golf influence space is going to grow exponentially next year, especially in the power of good videos and content and the growth of the next couple crews and individuals. So. Man, I'm excited.
I agree. You should be. You got a good product. You got a good plan.
I appreciate you, man, and even, like, just coming on and having these conversations to connect into those thoughts, and yeah. opening up some conversation I haven't quite had yet. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's good for this episode. Do you have any like closing statements? You have anything you want to chat about before we hop off
No,
and I go
just
get my child from school?
everybody go check out the Dilligolf YouTube channel.
Yes,
Subscribe,
sir.
comment. I tell people all the time, you know, it's hard to figure out the YouTube algorithm, but I do know one thing that has been consistent even from back in 2011 when I got into that world. It's comment. They want to see engagement. If you go and like and subscribe, that does nothing for your favorite creators. You
Right.
actually have to go, hey, that was a great swing. That was a great video. Hey, your beard looks goofy as hell. Something, So it's showing engagement. It gives the other people opportunity to engage back with you. Same thing on Instagram. I mean, on TikTok. Comment with your favorite creators. Don't just share it, repost it. Save it. All those things help your favorite creators go into this. So if you go to Dilligolf and you like it, do all those things. If you don't like it, just shut up and leave the page.
Right. Well, you do comment back, and I appreciate. And one of the reasons I wanted to connect with you, because I've seen a lot of growth in my social media, um, not just in like huge numbers, but in the strength in the numbers that I've grown. Because the amount of people that are engaging, it's
Yep.
wild to get like 700 views and then like 80 comments and 100 likes. Like, am I shadow banned? I'm not quite sure, but power
I
of
know
numbers, we could.
I know I am over on Instagram and Facebook, but that's because
Oh,
my other industry. And then
yeah.
and my mistake was I connected Dilligolf to my personal page on Instagram. I'll just give you, people are like, oh, shadow bans BS. You don't get shadow banned. That's
Yeah.
not true. You're just not putting out enough content. Okay, when the TV show was airing, we had 1.2 million viewers a week, right in that area. Sometimes it'd be less, more around a million. I've got 3,000 followers. That's it. And about halfway through the season, I saw everything just drop off the planet Earth. Like I could post, I'll give you $1 million if you comment, and I wouldn't get a single comment. It was insane. I don't have $1 million to give anybody. Please don't ask. but
I
it
was
was
like,
just, I was like,
you're about to blow up now, buddy.
yeah. So then I reached out to our talent rep, and I'm like, dude, do y'all have any pull? Does Discovery Channel have any pull? He goes, oh yeah, we've got a connection over there. Let me get you verified. I'll get you the blue check. This is before you could buy a blue check. And he called me back in 2 days. He's like, yeah, they couldn't figure it out. They can't give you the blue check. I'm like, why? He goes, it's just weird. So I'm like, okay, I'm starting to believe the shadow banning is real, whatever. And then I had a friend of mine who has over 1 million followers on Instagram. And I called him. I was like, am I doing something wrong? Look at my content. He goes, no, your content's great. You're doing the right thing. You're just talking to people. You're trying to connect with them. I said, well, what do we need to do? He goes, let me try something. He made a post with my picture from the TV show, my tag for Instagram. He said, everybody go follow him now. Now, I told you he has 1 million followers on Instagram. How many followers do you think I got?
3?
3.
I mean, I was gonna
I
say
got,
like 100 maybe,
I
but
got, I got 3 followers, but what makes it worse, within 48 hours of those 3 followers, I lost 20.
that's wild.
And I'm like, okay, this is freaking real. And so over here on TikTok, where I'm new to, and I haven't really done much of anything here. I'm trying to keep everything separate, and hopefully that doesn't, end up happening here too.
I do.
It's what it is.
I completely think it's real. Like I've seen,
Yeah,
like it's wild. When I first started, I posted like one video that was nothing and bunch of likes, couple thousand follow views or whatever, and stuck on that track.
yeah,
Went in and out with not keeping up with content, but then I went on a track where Instagram blew up, and then my TikTok basically paused,
yeah,
and I took a while off, and I've been seriously posting basically twice a day for the past 3 months.
yeah,
All kinds of content. I've been all over Sugarloaf. Like I went all over the East Coast. I played with all kinds of amazing content creators where
yeah.
we collabed, and bro, like 3,500. I mean, like people got to step it up a little. And what was crazy is, oh, what's up, bad golfer? Uh,
Hey, what's up, man?
it it just blows my mind. Like, and I think it does have a lot to do with the engaging, and that's really where I started
Yeah,
with this was like, man, I've been engaging like crazy, but authentically engaging, like
that's the
engaging.
key.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
because everyone like an emoji's cool or whatever. If you've got nothing to say and you've engaged quite a bit with them or something, but the authenticity shows, and I even though some of these people I haven't met, it is like it's like kind of being like that. If you're a gamer, you have those gamer friends that you
yeah,
connect with like every night, and it's like the I actually do have people I message with, and I look forward to. Uh, Continue to grow with and commenting so huge like I don't necessarily know how like the algorithm works in that sort of way where it's like share like follow comment like I don't know which one. I know all of them together or a certain order of
yeah.
those is obviously going to boost you, but I mean I
Well,
see a bunch of good. Good.
and most of these platforms change it all the time, anyway. So
Yeah.
I remember with YouTube back in the old days, back in 2011, 2012 when I was starting that up. I'd get the hang of it, and we're getting 1,000 views a video, we're killing it, we're getting up to 12,000 subscribers, and then like you post a video and it gets 10 views. I'm like, wait, it's the same format. I'm using the same editing software. It's the same vibe. What just happened? Oh, well, yeah, you're supposed to put more sound effects now. Oh crap! So you go in there, tweak it, you get sound effects. Boom, you're getting thousands of views again. Boom. What? They don't like hats anymore. It's just like,
Yeah.
what the hell? It was just this moving target to where you get so discouraged. You're like, do I even bother anymore? It made enough money for us to travel to our events that we did and stuff like that. We never really turned a profit because we did do a lot of events. He may have now. He's continued talking lead since then, but it was something where it's like it's such a moving target, and you're just barely trickling any money to do anything, and it was just dreadful golf.
So,
I love
so
connecting with your beat. Yeah,
yeah,
me too. It's only been
that's
2 days,
dude.
but I love connecting with him.
That's my dude, Dreadful, and he's a great connector of people. They help run the Create Tour. I mentioned it to you, I invited you, but that's coming
Oh
up in
yeah, are
Johnson
they the ones up
City.
in East Tennessee?
Yep. That's Dreadful
Okay,
Golfer
so
and his brother Ty, and they do the Create Tour, and
okay,
that's coming up for anybody. I think our draft's coming up where we're gonna pick. There's a couple different events, couple different days. Format's super fun. Has helped me
so
grow
if
through this.
you're if
Yeah.
Dreadful Golfer's still on here, I'm down in Memphis. I lived in Nashville for most of my life, and then now I moved to Memphis. But y'all invited me up, and I wanted to come, but I'm working I got to go back to. I almost said it again. A pew
Mm,
pew range
yeah,
day
pew pew.
down in Georgia. It's a YouTuber. What do they call it? It's just a content creation day, and my school sponsors it, and I do content creation down there. So I want to go to that so bad, and I was like, heck yeah! And I went to sign up, and I'm like, I'm all in. And you're up in the Knoxville, Kingsport area. All right, cool. And it's the same weekend of our annual range day. Dang it! And
Yeah,
I think I even said I was like, I've got a range day I have to work, and they were like, we've got a range here. I'm like, it's a different kind of range.
yeah. A little bit different. Not the same sound effects.
Yeah,
Bad Golfer said sound effects pay for viewers. It's not easy
yeah,
getting traction.
yeah,
I do know a lot of people pay for viewers. So here's my only woe about paying for viewers is I do see the accounts that have paid for viewers, and what I do see is the comments aren't authentic. If you know
yeah.
what you're looking for, especially in like a world of trying to get sponsors and stuff, or working with big companies, that's not what they want to see. I do agree with like it helps gain traction and attention when you have that excess viewership. I would be so up in the air about it, and I don't know if that's where I'd want to spend my marketing dollars.
I
Uh,
wouldn't unless you have something that because everybody that does content creation, we all know that there's going to be something that you make. Even while you're editing it, you're laughing your ass off. You're like, oh my
mm-hmm.
God, this is going to be epic. And the moment you post it, 4 days later, you look at it and it's got less than 100 views. You're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
And so if it's something like that where you just need a little extra oomph to get a few eyes on it, I would drop $10 on it just to see if you can get a few extra eyes. I did it back in the other industry a couple times on YouTube, and it helped. It was just dead in the water, and I dropped $10-20 to promote it, and then all of a sudden, boom, it has 20,000 views, and I'm getting genuine comments. But like you said, the worry is if you pay for that content promotion, are you getting legitimate views? Are you getting legitimate comments? Are people genuinely going, hey, wow, this is funny. How did I not see this before? Or is it just, these companies don't do the bots. There's companies that have bot farms for it.
Yeah. I think I lost you for you. You hear me?
You lose
We're good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I got you. There you are. There you are.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Did you lose me?
Yeah, I did lose you. So I didn't hear the last thing. So
oh, my bad.
Good comment, brother.
That was the $1 million comment, and I can't remember what it was, so I can't repeat it.
I know. I was like, yo, he paused out. I'm like, I think I got it. Nope, I don't know what the hell he's saying. But Jared Fisher said, don't know if it's just bots. That's why I haven't paid for any promotions. Yeah, like I said, I think it could go both ways, but I do know, like, if you're going to pay for marketing or advertising really anywhere, you better expect bots for sure. But just in general, you're going to have to, if you want to be a true business, you do have to pay for advertising. You do have to pay for marketing. And where I see a value is there are a lot of people that just funnel through and and when they see those big accounts or big numbers, it is like a bandwagon type like a lot of times I feel like. So I'm not really opposed.
Here's the genius thing about marketing on social media, right? The key word is the social part. You and I are sitting here talking about Golf Armory and Dilligolf. And if I got 2 new followers from this, we just marketed. If Golf Armory gets 5 new customers from this, we just marketed. And we didn't spend a dime except take an hour of our time, right?
Right.
Not to mention, you're going to meet good people, and that so far I've met great people. You and I met in the group that we're in.
Yeah.
Everybody is active. Everybody's commenting. Everybody's liking, sharing, and it's really cool to see that. And you can get with these people and grow stuff together. As long as you do. I've been in groups like this before, and this one doesn't seem like it's going to do that. But there's 1 or 2 people that are all about growing their own stuff, but then they don't actually help anybody else. And you can filter that out pretty quick. But dude, the social aspect of the social media, that's the way to go, man. Yeah. And you don't have to spend much money. You just have to put your time in.
You do have to put time in, but it's crazy because they are on all different levels too. So it's not like you specifically could go find somebody who has a low handicap or find somebody with a big group. Like everyone communicates different. It's I don't know. Social media is wild. Like I can't imagine the other space, and like I don't know how. Do you have similarities in marketing like I mean, there's obvious similarities, but the price, the value that comes from this, I don't know how I'm trying to say this. Like you have to spend a lot of time marketing like your main shows and stuff. So like, or are you not?
Or with me owning a trade school, and I'll just say it's pew smithing, so you can kind of figure out what the pew.
Nope, I got you.
See you later, Jared. But it is a tough sell because not a lot of people want to be pew smith. So right. You have to really get your name and your brand out there to where if Uncle Johnny watches your stuff and all of a sudden his nephew goes, I want to be a pew smith. Then he goes, oh, you need to check out MGS Trade School. This guy's great. They do great. They have great curriculum, nothing but positive reviews, blah, 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 boom. So I don't remember how I got on that. Oh, difficulty marketing different, things in that industry. The similarities. The good thing is if I was a manufacturer in that same industry, easy breezy, man. As long as you have something that runs and doesn't malfunction and it's cool, easy breezy because these people are passionate about it. Same thing with the golf world. There's so many similarities. I mean, instead of pew-pews, it's clubs, right? Oh, this thing will help your your hook, your slice, your everything. It's the most forgiving club you've ever seen in your life. And if it works and it doesn't break the first time I use it, I'm gonna buy it. These
Hmm.
balls are supposed to be the best balls ever made. Blah 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 blah. People buy it, and people buy the craziest stuff that hadn't even come out. It just came out, and they make claims like this will go 7,000 yards from the tee box. Okay, I bought it.
Right, right. Well,
So
I remember watching the Hammer, right? So I'm from Denver, and the Hammer Golf, the driver. You remember ever seeing that?
is he
She
the
was like,
German guy?
no, his commercial from back in the day on like the Golf Channel and stuff was at Arrowhead, and then that's in Denver.
Okay.
And he's like long driver, and he's hitting his new shaped club over the red rocks and stuff like that, and he's like, pow, bam, all crazy, um, and now you see his social media popping up because that was like the Golf Channel commercials, and
Okay,
now
gotcha.
he's got. I see the transition, and it's funny. It's just a different kind of market, though. So
Yeah,
it's wild to think about. The marketing is crazy.
yeah. But
That ad was insane.
but you
Yeah,
you you know that this demographic wants to get better. You have a product that can help make these people better. So that's an
yeah,
easy connect. Your marketing campaign is come check out our simulators, let it use them at the place, let us sell you one, and you will get better. Of course, in truth and marketing acts and there's laws, you can't
yeah.
say this ball will make you the greatest golfer ever. But you can
Right.
say we put all the technology into it to let you learn and get better on it, and then you can take everything you learn with our simulators and get better. Um,
Yeah.
it's up to you how good you get, but you have something that is inherently is a product that is going to be easy to sell in this.
Right. And that is one of the hard things about the motto and like saying that I can help you lower the learning curve of golf, or we are trying to lower the learning curve of golf. And that's kind of like the key word in there. It's like trying. I'm not
Yeah,
guaranteeing, but
right.
um, it is possible.
Yep.
And that is one of the important things that I'm trying to do too, is, not have to spend that top dollar. I'm not saying it's not available, but I am saying I want to get people in clubs and in options that doesn't necessarily have to be the top brand. Like there are plenty of people spending a ton of money in marketing, and they have a great product that actually could help you become a better golfer. But it's not at that top. I mean, I don't like
Yeah.
paying $65 for 12 golf balls. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
The bad golfer said, as long as you market the right way, you can sell sand to people in Sahara. That's
So
funny because you
what's the
mentioned
phrase?
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I told him yesterday we were on a phone call, and I told him I can sell ice cubes to an Eskimo, but here's my kicker: I can only sell ice cubes to an Eskimo if I truly believe that Eskimo needs an ice cube. If I
right.
don't think he needs it and he's surrounded by ice, I can't do it. I can only sell him something that I believe in. That's just I'm good at talking and marketing a product that I believe in and that I believe that will benefit people. So that's the key with what you've got. You believe in it. You believe in. I mean, we all believe in golf carts. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Right.
You
Right.
believe in the simulators. You've looked at all the simulators. You have selected. You have handpicked. These are the ones we're going to use
Yep.
for a reason. So you believe in what you have. That belief is going to come across authentic in all your marketing.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the biggest key. If you're authentic and truly believing about it, then yeah, you can sell sand to people in the Sahara. I mean, he's absolutely right. But you got to
Yeah.
believe in it. It's got to be something you truly believe
It's it's hard to come through, but then like I always just circle back. Like there's so many things, man, in the connections. And uh you still have a minute before you.
in. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool, cool.
I was trying to
I'm
rush
good for.
because I didn't know how soon you got to go get your
No,
kids.
no, no, no. I'm still good for a minute. I'm taken care of. So, oh, yesterday we were talking about the veteran programs. I was just texting to you, and we mentioned it after. But I wrote down a list of the programs and some of the things available,
Yeah,
which again kind of circles me back to what makes it all possible. And I did the PGA Hope program, and I did work with some of the SMGA guys, and the Veteran Golf Association. Like that's one of my favorite organizations. So I hadn't played in tournaments for a while. I, just was playing here and there golf, and then I saw the Veteran Golf Association. You kind of got to be a veteran or a family member of a veteran, but there's like 25,000 members in that
Oh wow.
community. Yeah,
Yeah.
they do 1,500 tournaments a year. There's a chapter in nearly every state. I'm in the Colorado, Wyoming one, but I played in a couple of tournaments. They go to the dopest courses. Like I'm gonna be
Yeah.
100. Like the best courses around. We always go up and play in Casper and stuff, and some of the most beautiful courses I've ever played. And I play all the time at nice places, but they have that in. There's like one of those angles that we talked about. Like it's just one of my communities, which is a huge driver for this whole project. But they, they get appreciated from those courses, and we get to see some beautiful golfing holes. The PGA Reach, so the PGA Reach works like, and I know you have a son in golf, but anybody wants to do youth, military, or basically diverse populations, they're called PGA Hope, PGA Junior, and PGA Work. Like I said, I did the PGA Hope program. It's like a 68-week. It was cool, man. It's I wouldn't say like the low handicapper would necessarily learn a lot golf wise from it, but I would say the connections in my position, like I connected with these other veterans and golfers. That's not it. It's out there, but it's pretty rare in Denver too. There's not a lot of military. Like I was one of the few in my school to like go to the military, so it's not very popular. And I met them through that. My buddy plus three golf, Brett. He just did the Keith Whitley Memorial. He's up there by you. I need to get you in touch with Brett. Brett has a media company, Plus Three Media.
Yeah.
Kills it. Their crew has a amazing content, amazing media. Like they have all the high tech gears and beautiful stuff. And he just in upcoming in November up in Nashville. If you got time, I'll get you the dates. But and I'll shout him out on the next one for everybody else. But he's got a BFW tournament coming up,
Oh
and then
nice.
we'll be announcing like the dates and where and stuff. But we're going to be running a country concert for a major tournament this year.
Oh
So
heck yeah. That's awesome.
that's going
So
to be awesome. So he does a lot with veterans. Yeah,
bad
go ahead.
bad golfer's got a story for us. He says
Yeah.
he'd like to join us live someday.
Oh yeah. Should we let him in?
Why not? If you got
Here we
time now,
go. Here
let's
we
do
go,
it.
brother.
I love
All
good
right.
stories.
Bam. I like stories. Let's do it.
Ooh, a scamming story. Yes, please. I love
I
those.
think I think I
Expose the
invited
guy
him.
or girl. I don't know. It could be a guy or girl.
Yeah, let's hear it. I think I invited him. Yeah, invited.
Oh, here he comes. Get the spinning dot.
I don't know how to. Is there like a way to switch the screen? Oh, he's doesn't got a camera on anyway. It's all good.
Okay.
What's up, brother? You there? Bad golfer.
I hear clicking. Is that
I
him?
hear
Or
him. Sounds
are
like.
we gonna do the story in Morse code?
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I don't read Morse code, so that's the second time in 2 days I've also heard the Morse code. I haven't even thought about that in years.
Oh wow. I know SOS. That's all I know.
I do hear clicking, but I don't know. You there,
It does the
brother?
little sound thing around his
Yeah,
picture like somebody's trying to talk, but nothing comes out.
yeah. Well, we'll wait for him. I got a couple more, right? So I did the Folds of Honor. That was a big one,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited to talk about the Folds of Honor, be a part of the Folds of Honor. They do a lot of good work. They did this year. I just got an email. They did 51 million, but that equals 11,000 scholarships. So they do a lot of scholarships for veteran families and veteran with their children to go to college. I did the 100 hole. There he is. I did the 100 hole marathon
Yeah.
in Orlando. Just what's up? I did the 100 hole
You guys
real
hear
quick.
me?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hear you.
yeah, we got you now.
Yeah,
Let
all
me
right, great.
drop real quick. So I did the 100 hole marathon in Orlando for Folds of Honor, and then there was a donation. I want to do another one because I didn't have time to really set up the marketing and get people viewing it and stuff. So I'm gonna do another one soon. I definitely want to get like that $5,000 range at least donated, so I can, because that's the cost for one scholarship. So,
That'd be
but
cool.
yeah, what's up, bad golfer? How you doing, brother?
Hey guys.
You
Um,
got a story for us?
it's a doozy.
Let's hear it, brother. I'm down.
If it's a
Well,
scammer, call names.
yeah, well, it's pretty interesting stuff because this was a guy he was doing lives really often, and he was pushing his ideas, and his ideas were great. And one of the ideas was a tournament that would you do live tournaments on simulators and stuff like that. And then he started the thing about the clubs. So he had connections that could like make premium clubs more or less from the same companies that makes Callaway, Titleist, whatever. And he started selling those things, and he made some custom putters. So I ordered 2 putters. Was the logo of him or the company, and then he just dropped off the face of the earth.
Nobody got the product.
He had almost 13,000 followers. And people started ordering this stuff, and like some got their putters at least, but like some people ordered complete iron sets and putters and stuff, and nothing showed up.
Nothing.
He just fucking disappeared. He disappeared on every fucking platform.
Yeah.
Wow. Like deleted the accounts and everything.
No, the accounts are open, but he's just not there. Not on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Discord, nothing.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I'm not personally gonna say the name, but I know of him. I'll say this.
Yeah, he's from.
I've talked to him before, and he, we had a good conversation. But I did hear later about what happened, and I mean, look, no excuses for him at all either. Because that's you can't make promises your ass can't cash. Really is the term, and unfortunately that is what he did. So, but
yeah, we kind of knew where he came from, so that's like he was recovering and doing great stuff, and I'm pretty sure he just went back to that stuff.
Like addiction type stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because I know like he did his lives and he's talking about like those warehouses that he was like working at or being managing. They were closing or stuff like that, and not too long after that he just face planted totally and disappeared.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
so
that is unfortunate. Jack Sheber said, "Who's he talking about?" If you want to say it, you can say it, but I'm not going to say it. I just
yeah,
I don't want to call out somebody on accident. I'd be like, "Hey, it was this guy," and you're like, "Nope, not that guy." Back. Shoot.
Yeah, no, I made a video about it because I felt bad for him in a way that he just ruined himself and everything that he was trying to build. And on the other hand, it sucked being just
on the other side, right?
Like that. Yeah, because for me it was a big thing buying those putters because that was supposed to be a giveaway.
Yeah, and that's why I know what it was. And I will say this: I think an explanation would at least be, or like some sort of something. Like I can't make excuses for nobody, but just to fall off the face of the planet when you're owed so many people. I know it was a pretty big number. I don't know the exact number. Again, I don't want to make claims that I don't know for sure, but I mean that's a spicy one though. Like I wasn't quite expecting that, and I'm glad you did though, because like that, it's such an important point of business and all of this, and you see people come out and do donations or do offers or whatever, and just avoid it if you can't come through. Like if you don't have the backing, then definitely be careful.
Yeah,
Like it's a business is. I mean, it's still business. Like if you're on here trying to promote a product or promote a service or anything, like
yeah.
yeah, you better. That's one of the tough things about TikTok Shop and stuff too, though. Like I do think it's a great thing and a great push, and I know it makes a lot of sales for a lot of people, but you don't necessarily know every time where it's coming from. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm kicking myself with the TikTok shop because one of my biggest videos I've done on TikTok was my review of the 69 wedge. And I didn't know about TikTok shop. I didn't know anything about it. And then a buddy of mine tells me, "Oh, dude, you're going to do great with TikTok Marketplace." And I was like, "Well, what is it?" And he starts explaining things to me. He was like, "Yeah, like, look, here's a 69-degree wedge. Here's the commission for each one you sell." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And I went back to that video, and that video is like, I think it's around 6,000 views. And I'm like, no, I should have waited to do that video.
Yep.
And it's really funny. One of the guys I follow, he's pushing products every single video. It's from everything like battery chargers to nets to whatever. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do about golf. It's whatever he gets, he pushes, and it just becomes some kind of like a porridge of content in a way.
All right, so I'm gonna guess. Can we play guess the accent?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Usually I'm pretty good. Is it Iceland?
Nope.
No. Dang.
Oh, bro.
But you're kind of in the right direction, north.
Norway?
Norway?
Yeah.
Oh.
Norway,
Damn.
nice.
Spot on.
I was only gonna say Norwegian just because Victor Hovland's from that area, so it was just golf and the connection there. That was my guess.
Yep.
But really, I don't even know. Like, I don't travel.
I've actually.
My family, my last name's Stout, and my family always thought, okay, Stout, it's Scotch Irish, Guinness Stout, all these stout beers, it all came from Scotland, Ireland. And then we did the DNA test thing, and it came back like Norway, Iceland, Western European countries, and we dug deeper and come to find out the majority of the stouts from Scotland were conquered by Sigurd the Stout from Norway when he came in and took the hold of Scotland, and that's kind of why I'm always like I'm a 6'7" blue-eyed brown-haired guy. Like I don't look anything like the guys from Scotland. Now it makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. How big are your golf clubs, dude?
Mine?
Yeah. Did you do the legal what you should? Because you got to be hunched over, right?
I am. I've got 2 inches up on all my irons and wedges, and I'm still hunched over with it.
Look like Tony Finau. He's almost on his knees when he strikes.
Yeah, and when I go, like I did a video on YouTube where I played golf in Pennsylvania with a buddy up there, and I used their family's loaner clubs. Well, he's 5'6", 5'7", and all their family's about the same height. I was almost doing a full squat every swing I took. It was bad.
Yeah. Well, I've gone to a couple of the world long drives, and I know that they've regulated the 48 to 48 inches, but it was before the drivers were a little longer. And these dudes are your height with like extremely long drivers. And I was just out there. I know a couple of them, and gives me his driver, and it like I felt like I was Barnum and Bailey, like circus type, like one of those true. Well, like that. I'm a trick shotter. Like I can do chips, and I like to make bounce trick shots and deflections and stuff. And but I'm not talented in swinging the 10-foot driver. Like that's wild.
My driver is the only thing that I don't have extension on. The only thing I did for my size driver wise is the Jumbo Max grip. That's the only thing I did size wise.
Well, I mentioned yesterday because you were talking about the ridge on the back and how you have it lined up, and I was like the Jumbo Max. I'm like, well, you're not pulling anything, that's for sure. But I don't that may not be true because you gotta have freaking huge ass hands too, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
yeah. So
and
they're
it's
just
like I
like a
tell
normal
people,
club in my hand.
that's a normal club in my hand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You know, so this
Makes
feels like what
sense.
I imagined a club feels like in everybody else.
yeah, probably closer. Now it makes more sense. It just you can't tell in the video, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what you
Yeah,
guys got?
when it comes to clubs, it's so much weird stuff. Like I
Ah,
when you looked at Bryson, the putter Bryson uses, it's 89 degrees.
right, because the cut or
Yeah.
it's 70. Is it 79? Because the 80 is the cut, right?
Oh, that was 80. It's 79, so 80 is the cut.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
80 is the
Yeah.
cut. Well, then that brings me
So
to
he's
that's
just
actually yeah. You know what? His putter is so upright. The PGA rule is 80 degrees upright, and
yeah.
Bryson's is 79, which is like an absolute. You do not like. People don't even get close to that. Or
So
putters. I don't know what they
he
are,
took
but
the Texas wedge phrase seriously.
Yeah, and
yeah,
it's really weird when he before I'm not sure if it was before the majors, but he got his those 3D irons that he
yeah.
made
So
that
Yeah.
they were certified the day before.
right, and that's crazy.
Wow.
And there's a lot of talk circulating around him. I know it can go both ways. I find it interesting. I like his originality and kind of just testing the industry a little bit. 3D
Yeah,
modeled irons, like we've seen Cobra for a couple years now, make their putters 3D printed. I think the face insert was, the part that wasn't. But now to have 3D printed irons and then kind of to test technology, right? He has the
yeah,
rounded face, so when he swings as hard as he can, he don't have to try to uh, stop from turning over basically because the rounded face
hmm,
will be forgiving, kind of like the driver situation. Where you move to a
yeah,
460 cc head with a slightly curved face in an effort to give it more forgiveness, which it does. But um,
and he also told I think it was one of his latest videos that he said that all his clubs were the same length.
yeah. So and that was actually going to be my next.
Same loft too, right?
Yeah,
So
more or
he's
less same
Yeah.
lofts.
he gapped him so crazy. So here's the thing, like he has the same length with that, which I'd be curious at your height that would be like at least tighten up the group of the height. But he
Yeah.
has the Jumbo Max basically on everything. He has the arm lock putter, stands very upright, arms really really locked out like everywhere. Like he's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
breaking a lot of he's not breaking his elbow or anything, you know what I mean, or his wrist a lot. He's a really strange powerhouse, and the Avodas are crazy. Like to 3D print a club that you can legit hit at
Yeah.
100 miles an hour. Like listen, like that. He's a beast too. Like he's not just hitting it at
yeah.
like the normal. I appreciate you, Jack. He said you're a good host, Trip. I'm dope. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, he has the 3D printed clubs, and that's just amazing. Like I've messed with 3D printers in the plastic, but also in the metal area, and to be able to withstand his power and the consistent times he hits it, and be able to hold up, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because
I
clubs break, forge clubs break sometimes. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
No, I tested the Cobra Agera 3D printed one. That was a 41 inch. Now my issue with it was that I'm short and fat, so it kind of it was too long for me. But I actually bought it is the 34 or 35 inch. So I bought the Cobra, and it's been magical.
Well, I'm
Oh
gonna have
wow.
to like tell my bad ping story. So I have a ping, and I love that it does this, right? Like it has the adjustable grip, so it goes from 32 to 38, I believe, so or 36. So that there's the driver end screw at the top of the grip, and it's on and you can literally tighten it and loosen it, but it'll extend and go from 32 to 36. I think it's 36 because the
Are all
average
the
putter is
pings
like.
like that?
I don't think so. I don't know what
You know,
series
I was
exactly.
gonna be ticked if I could have done that before I put this on here.
Yeah, I mean, you may have. I don't know, but I do know my ping. I had like the ping Hepler, and it's like the brass head, and I didn't know. Like I knew it, but I'd never really messed with it because I'm not a tinker like that. I have a friend 902. We went and played, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I bent my clubs to fit my swing." I'm like, "You did what? Like how the hell? Like with what, dude? Like I don't know. How'd you know? You know what I mean? Well, and get mind you, 902 is like the dog. If you don't follow 902, follow 902
I
Golf.
do. I follow.
So yeah, he's my dude. You just watch our videos where we went to Sugarloaf. That's a crazy ass story. But I'm gonna have to bring him on here for that one. But man, I totally forgot what I was talking about.
Talking about he bent his club.
The adjustable handle. Yeah. So anyway, I would adjust it, but the handle it stripped a little bit. So I don't know. Like, so when it's less than 36, you'll go to putt and it'll be like click, like as you make the motion. And I swear it just happens at the So the only answer is to put a different grip on there and just get rid of that and just put it where it's supposed to be, I suppose. So, or just move on and get a new putter. That's what I'm saying.
I attended something called Next Up Invitational. That's just like it's a junior tournament and one day and it's an exhibition match with Victor Hovland and some other Norwegian pros. And during that this summer, Jesper Parnevik, that's the PGA golfer from back in the 90s, he works for Ping.
Oh,
so
wow.
he was there. And so Ping had a putting stand there, so you can just take the different pings and just hit them. And I tested out a couple of pings, and I said, well, too bad I just bought a Cobra. And he was like, and he just changed the complete complexion, and he started talking to one of the others, and like, why do people buy that shit? Not talking to me at all. He just started talking to someone else about why do people buy that shit? Why don't you just buy a Ping? Ping is like
I'm a Ping fanboy.
Are you? I had the Ping G410s kind of when I reestablished into golf and like this oversized head. And what happened is I just felt like I was Bryson those things. I live in Denver and I should not be hitting a 4-iron like 230. Like that's just not my personal gapping. I don't need that. And so I dropped those and I have the Ping i500s, but then I also have the TaylorMade 770s and those my babies. Like
So I've got I've got the G430 Max 10K driver, and then I've got 3 of the G400 hybrids, the 3, 5, and 4, and then my sand wedge is a PG400 maroon dot, and everything else are Callaway Razor X irons and wedges, and then my putter is the TaylorMade Spider.
So, do you want to hear the chaos I have in my bag?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of my favorite things about seeing like the personalities versus like the your outfit of clubs. Like it's pretty funny. It's like the dog matches the owner.
So I have the Ping G430, the one before the 10K.
The LSD or the
Max? Max, yeah, Max.
Yeah.
So I have that one, and then I have a Cobra. That's a 5-wood. So that's it's yellow and black. I never remember what type. Then I have also a Cobra. That's a 4 hybrid. So that's also the same series. But then I dropped down to a Callaway Warbird iron set.
Nice.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
and that's just a coincidence because a friend of mine, he started back up golfing after 15 years. He bought the bag and I had it for 2 months, and then he said, "Oh, I'm playing so great. I need new clubs." So I bought them cheap. So that's like from 5 to pitch sandwich, and then I have a Cleveland chipper, 48 degrees. I don't use it anymore, but I bought it because I sucked at chipping, as Victor Hovland said. Just because, so I bought a club that just made me just be able to play, because my wedges, it didn't work. So, but I'm not using it anymore because now my wedges work. So I bought the Lazarus wedges.
Yeah. Did you get like the volcano, like the purple?
Yeah, I got the gay ones.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. I'm just seeing if you got them fire too. I mean,
I got the gay ones.
Yeah.
Something funny thing about that, I actually got a buddy of mine to buy the same gay wedges as well.
Well, let me ask you, what about Damascus? Is like, so we watch these shows where they're like firing up and smashing knives. Like, why aren't we seeing like this sick topographical looking Damascus? Yeah, like, can that not be a golf club?
Yeah. In fact, I just saw a Damascus putter on it was either Instagram or on here. It was like an advertisement.
Yeah,
I swear,
I've seen that too.
I watched the knife version of your PPU show, right? And it's like they're always firing up these knives. And
so Grady, the host of Forged in Fire.
Yep, that's it.
He and I went head to head for the Master of Arms host show. I ended up getting that show. We only lasted one season. He goes on to be the host of Forged in Fire and gets like 5 seasons. I'm like, damn, I wish I would have sucked worse on that.
I don't mean to put gas on the fire, but I've probably seen every Forged in Fire episode. But I did watch your episode last night, so that's a win.
Well, I don't get a dime off of it because I didn't negotiate a good enough contract. But Grady's going to come do a round of golf with me for one of the YouTube videos. He's launching a new business in October, and as soon as he launches that, we're going to do a round of golf for one of the YouTube videos. So that'd be cool.
You need to.
I'm going to have a blade or something in my bag, and I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to go, "Hey, Grady, will this kill?"
This will kill.
It's funny when you talked about you don't get paid for shit. I've been watching a lot of guys post stuff on, especially TikTok lately. Like they've some production company has reached out to them and asked if they can use like their music or whatever. And after all those paragraphs and whatever and stuff they wanted to use it in and kind of own it, they'll pay you like $8,500 maybe.
And they're making way more than that. I told Trippy last night or yesterday when we were on the phone, everybody assumes because I had a TV show, oh, you must be filthy rich now. No, I made like $30,000. That's it. That's all I made on that show. And now if we would have got 3, 4, 5 seasons, I probably would have done better, but I still wouldn't have been a millionaire. And people think like, oh, in TV you get filthy rich. No. And that's why, when people ask me, hey, I had this production company reach out to me about using my content, I'm like, don't do it. The money has to be like life-changing for you to give up your intellectual property.
And people kind of have no fucking clue how much work how much work you have to do to get those 30 grands. It's constant work. There's something going on all the time. You're underpaid. That's what you are. Yeah.
We were doing like 12-hour days.
What's up, Jake?
Monday through Friday. We had the weekends off. But here's the biggest thing. If you're a content creator now, you're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, anywhere where you're making your own content, don't do it unless that money is going to change your life, your kids' life, and everybody's life around you, because you lose control. Y'all have seen me on here. I'm a goofball. I like crack jokes. I like to be a dumbass. And
Yeah,
all of a sudden they're like, you're big and you have tattoos. We want you to be mean. And I'm like, but everybody's going to see this and be like, that's not you, Zeke. What the heck is this?
Yeah.
And so, they take a lot of the control that you had with your own content creation and they make it what they think will sell. And it's like, if you're a content creator, do it yourself and just keep grinding until you start doing something.
And
I don't know.
I do like to appreciate the grind though, because I think sometimes we just forget from person to person. Like, dude, it is a grind. Like editing at all. Like I literally spend time on every single video. Every 15-second video you see probably took me 20 minutes at least of time. Like, and that's a cut down. I'll be honest. Like I'm OCD, dude. So I'm like, oh, is it perfect? Oh, push go. All right, I got it. I'm good to go.
Yeah,
but you gotta appreciate each person each time, and like that's why I like engaging and commenting and appreciating, not just the TV side of it, but each of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about like should I use the time to make something like a long format stuff like YouTube stuff, and like I don't work anymore because I got long story short story long PTSD, and I have the time, but on the other hand it's a lot of work just making everything like kind of fit, and I'm by myself, I don't have a crew or a group of friends like 3, 4, 5 people who can film me as well.
Each of those rounds of golf that I put on YouTube, I try to whittle it down to 19 minutes. I think that's the longest one I've done. That's about 3 hours worth of footage that I had to edit down to 19 minutes. And when I say that, that doesn't mean it took me 3 hours to edit. No, it took me like 8 hours because you got to watch it. Oh, is that funny? No, that's not funny. Okay, I'll delete. No, that would have fit here. So you go back and you rewind and it is a lot of work to edit those long videos. And
that's 8 hours of unpaid work.
Yeah,
more or less.
Yeah. My drone videos are the ones that get me because, like, flying the drone and there's just a lot of shaky shots or the wind or whatever. I just have a small DJI Mini Pro and beautiful shots. It's awesome. One I like hoard video. I'm like, oh, that's beautiful all the way for 3 minutes. I'm like, wait, nobody's gonna watch 3 minutes of drone video, so now I gotta cut it down. So what do I cut down?
Yeah.
And then when I cut down, like my cut shots, like I'm not perfect. I have Adobe and CapCut, and I see what people do, and I try to emulate. Dude, it takes me so long. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm not great either. So it's a working in progress. You see watch like my first video, dude. We've came along. I'll be honest.
I tried to make a long format video on from a course in Sweden. So I had me and just a buddy, and his wife was filming. And that ended up being a complete clusterfuck. Because that's just because she filmed absolutely everything, and then suddenly she filmed the woods and the grass and whatever. She was like, so it ended up being like a 4-hour video, just one entire video that's 4 hours. There's no cuts, nothing. She filmed everything, and like editing it and trying to edit like that, it takes for fucking ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a haul.
Well, like my edits are. It takes me a while to do that. I know. I don't. I'm trying to figure this thing out, and I'm not very good at it.
I think it kind of changes from the voice stuff.
I wish it did. That's what I was actually looking for, but I don't know how to do that.
I think that happened.
I've seen myself a bunch, so I don't even really need to see myself.
It went for the dominant picture.
Yeah. I have to think about. I think about these things a lot too because I've been messing with the cinematic view. I like the cinematic view on the iPhone, like 3 times from the right distance back. That's probably my favorite video right now. But you kind of got to be able to focus or have somebody move out of the way. but it cuts in like my last video. I did the par 3. Man, hole in one. I'm gonna lose it. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't forever. It's been 30 years, dude. I'm like grinding. But anyway, cinematic view. But then I'm like messing with focus, and then I'm messing with the video and cuts, and I'm like already ADD. I'm like in and out. I'm like, damn it. I need some editors, bro. Like I gotta make this thing happen
Yeah,
here.
but you see like the guys that like when you end up being like a gang of bros that's filming together. You're a team. Somebody has one job, someone has a different one. Yeah. So
and those channels have to book like 3 tee times so they can get the course without people there. Like they book 1 in front and like 2 in back.
Crazy. Yeah, and it ends up costing a lot of money. So that's it's really hard like competing against that stuff.
Oh, my buddy,
comment.
Yeah. I can see, that's my homie. He said, your last hole in one was a redhead came out, and I have an 11-year-old. His name's Alex, and he's a redhead. That's a win. I'll take that as my last in. No big deal.
But
hilarious.
Is it yours?
Yeah, that's. I mean, some days I wonder, but I can't guess now. I've already paid too much into this. I'm full invested. So we'll just leave. Yeah, we'll go there. Like he came out looking kind of like me, I guess. So we'll take that.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I didn't realize it was 4:45. I'm gonna have to jump here in a minute.
Yeah, you are good, brother.
There's been people being there's been a lot of people being a lot more unlucky than you, skin color wise.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well,
it's mine. Sure.
I have to cut out on you guys too, brother. So we're gonna call this the episode. I appreciate Bad Golfer. Thanks for coming on, brother. I appreciate Dilligolf. I appreciate you, man. Everyone, check out. Yeah,
I'd join you guys later on at some point if you invite me. Sure.
Absolutely, we'll have to jump back on. Like I need to start doing lives, and this definitely is just a good experience. So we'll hop back on.
Yeah, it's fun.
Go check out Dope Golf Podcast. So this is the end of the episode. We're out, dude. We're good. I appreciate you guys.
No problem, man.
Bye, boys.
Later.
Bye, boys.